Western-led financial system, and a rising coalition known as BRICS. What happens next could redefine global power for decades. If you're trying to understand the hidden forces shaping your future, not just the headlines, this channel exists for that reason. Subscribe now because what we uncover here doesn't stay visible for long. For nearly 80 years, the global financial system has revolved around one currency, the US dollar. Former Federal Reserve Chairman Paul Volcker once admitted, the dollar's role is not just economic, it is geopolitical. Control the reserve currency, and you control trade, debt, and sanctions. Western institutions like the IMF and World Bank became the referees of global finance. Their loans rebuilt nations, but also shaped policies, currencies, and governments. Economist Joseph Stiglitz later warned that these institutions often exported Western priorities, not neutrality. For decades there was no alternative, until cracks began to show. BRICS began as a Wall Street term, coined by Goldman Sachs economist Jim O'Neill to describe fast-growing economies. But what started as a label evolved into a coalition. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Together, they represent over 40% of the world's population and a growing share of global production. Chinese economist Yu Yongding describes BRICS not as an alliance, but as a shared frustration with a system they didn't design. These countries didn't just want influence. They wanted options. The turning point came when finance itself became a weapon. Sanctions, once rare, became routine. Former U.S. Treasury official Juan Zarate openly stated, "Financial pressure is now one of America's most powerful tools." But power cuts both ways. Russian central bank officials later admitted that sanctions exposed a dangerous truth. If your reserves are in someone else's currency, they are not really yours. For BRICS nations, this wasn't theoretical. It was existential. Pause for a moment, because this is where the story changes. If this is the kind of deep financial mystery you want more of, tap like. It tells the algorithm this conversation matters. So, BRICS began doing something radical. They started trading without the dollar. Energy deals in yuan. Bilateral trade in local currencies. And plans for alternatives to SWIFT,